Hi, this is my week 4 progress report. This week I focus on two main areas: expanding the game's characters and enemies, and improving the visual assets by drawing and refining the sprites. I also made a small but important improvement to the background switching system in the code. In the file system panel, you can see two new player scenes and two new enemy scenes have been added this week. Player 4, Player 5, Enemy 5, and Enemy 6. All of these come with newly drawn and refined sprites artwork that I worked on this week. Let me open Player 4 and Player 5. Both follows the same node structure as the earlier player scenes: character body 2D with an animated sprite 2D, a projectile, and an attack range. What's unique to each character is the sprite artwork. I drew and adjusted these character images myself to give each tower a distinct visual identity. If I click the root node and look at the inspector, you can also see each character has its own stat values, different health and attack damage. Sit directly here without touching the script. Same approach for the two new enemy scenes, Enemy 5 and Enemy 6. Each has its own sprite that I drew and refined this week. They share the same enemy.gd scripts as all previous enemies, but with individually turned stats in the inspector. Adding these two enemies into the game only require creating their scenes and adding their path to the level 3 configuration in road.gd. No new scripting was needed. Now let's look at road.gd. The one code change this week is in road.gd. Previously, the background image was swapped manually inside the next level button callback. I improved this by moving the background switching logic into process, which runs every frame. Now it checks the current level index and automatically loads the correct background image. Level 1 gets the first background, level 2 gets the second. This is a cleaner approach because the background is always guaranteed to match the current level, regardless of how the level changes. So, looking ahead to next week, I'm planning to implement a game over system. Right now, if all towers are destroyed, the game just continues with no enemy to fight. Next week, I'll add a defeat screen that triggers when all player towers are gone, along with a restart button so the player can try again. To summarize week 4, I added 2 new player characters and 2 new enemies with custom drawn sprites, improved the background switching logic, and I'm ready to implement the defeat system next week. I also worked on the following characters, including player and enemies, so I won't need to do them again in the following weeks. I think that's all for this week, and still let's play a little bit. Like, you won't see too much change right now, and I believe we can see a obvious upgrade for the following week and the final week. Thank you for watching.